right, so this session is going to be just a quick little glute and upper body activation. All you're going to need is a resistance band. I've gone for something kind of in the medium range, but you might want to use a heavier one for the lower body components and then a lighter one for the upper body exercises. So we're going to start just by placing the band just above the knees, and we're just going to come into a quadruped or 4-point kneeling position. So when we're here, just focusing on bringing the knees right under the hips and the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to be looking towards the end of the mat so that the head and neck is an extension of the spine. So from here, we just want to let that belly button drop down towards the floor and then pulling it up towards the spine, drawing those ribs down towards the hip bones and pushing up into the shoulders. So you can see that my body positioning here is really nice and solid. I'm not dumping into the front of the chest. My lumbar is nice and straight. And the focus is to hold this and maintain this position throughout the series of movements in this sequence. So from here, just letting go of that belly again, letting it drop towards the ground, and then pulling up, knitting those abdominals together in the front, ribs drawing down towards the hips, and slightly tucking that tailbone under, pushing up out of the shoulders, and then just moving ever so slightly our weight into that left knee. We're going to lift that right leg up towards the ceiling and then bring it all the way back down. So we're just going to lift and lower, lift and lower. So it's not necessarily about how high you can get this leg, but more about maintaining the position of the pelvis and the spine as we do this. Good. We also don't want to dump too far into that left hip. We very much want to stay square between all 4 points. Starting to feel that right glute warming up now. We're going to go for 5 more here. For 4. 3. 2. Last one. And then just reaching that toe towards the back of the mat. We're now going to continue the same movement, just with a straight leg. Reaching that foot long towards the back of the room rather than trying to get height through here. Keep pulling on that string of our pubic bone. Good. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing that knee all the way in. Pushing up out of those shoulders. And then bringing that knee up towards the side. Keeping those hips nice and square. We're going to go for 10. That's 8. 6. 4. 3. 2. 1. Nice, keeping that leg long now. We're going to lift and then we're going to come all the way around to the elbow. So keeping that leg nice and high now. We straighten and then bring it around to the elbow. Resistance in that band through the whole movement. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, holding that leg nice and high, little pulses. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, holding that leg now. We're going to drop the nose down towards the mat and then push back up. So those elbows are going to come back past the ribs. Keep that leg nice and high. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good, leg coming under. Just going to sink back into our child's pose, stretching those shoulders all the way out. Good, and then coming onto our other side. So finding our 4 points of contact again here. Tucking that tailbone under, belly button towards the spine, ribs drawing down towards the hips and pressing up out of the shoulders. Finding our set position here. Even weight into all fingertips. And then we're going to lift that leg, keeping that left knee bent. We're going to go for 10 more. That's 8. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straightening that leg now, we lift and lower. Really reaching again for the back of the room with that left foot, not aiming for height through these. Keep pushing up out of those shoulders, thinking about the tip of our shoulder blade drawing through the front of the body. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, coming all the way in. Now that left knee is coming out to the side. We're going to go for 10, 8, 6, last 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now straightening that left leg again, bringing it up high, holding here, wrapping it all the way around to the left elbow, straightening. You can follow with the gaze as well.
Keep drawing those ribs down towards the hips, pushing up out of those shoulders. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, holding it nice and high. Elbows come back, nose comes down towards the mat. 5, 5 more. Keep that leg high. Little pulses with that leg. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo. Coming back into our child's pose. Beautiful. So, glutes should be feeling nice and warm. Upper body is activated. We're now going to take the band from our knees and place it just around our wrists. So this is where you might want to swap onto a lighter band. We're then going to come back into our quadruped position and just bringing those hands so that they are again underneath our shoulders. And then just pushing up again out of our upper body, finding our 4 points here, switching on that deep core. And then from here, we're just reaching that left hand out and in. And then other hand out and in. So whilst we're pushing up through the shoulder blades here, I want you to imagine a string drawing from the tip of your shoulder blade at the bottom through towards the front of the chest in line with the nipples. Good. We're going to go for 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. So pausing for a moment here. We're going to start with our right hand. We're just going to bring that right hand out and place it down lightly. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Then from here, right hand again, we're going to bring that heel of our hand back towards our knee and then back here. So really think about pulling from underneath the armpit. It's going to help activate those lats and the top of our triceps. We're going to go for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Just pushing back into your child's pose here. We're just going to rest for a second before heading on to our left side. Taking one more breath here. Good. All right, pushing back up into our 4-point kneeling. Again, finding that position. And then we're just going to start by pressing that left hand out and in line with the shoulders. We're going to go for 5 more. 3, last 2, last 1. And then drawing that heel of that hand back towards the knee. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Pausing here. Rounding the shoulders back. So you should feel really nice and warm through the side of the shoulder. We're just working on that outer portion of that rotator cuff. Amazing. So, the last little bit for this session is we're just going to do some abs. So bringing that band around just below the knees this time. So, actually no, we're going to bring it above the knees. Then just bringing the hands slightly behind the shoulders. You can come down onto your forearms if you wish. So finding our positioning here, again, starting with the tuck of our pelvis, so rolling, starting with the tailbone, and just finding our little dish position here. We're then going to bring the legs into tabletop. We're going to start by just extending both legs out and in, finding our dish. So you might find that you prefer more your range is here. We're going to go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're now going to bring left knee in, right leg out. And we're just going to keep swapping over here. We're going to go for 10, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg's going to stay in, left leg bent. We're just going to pulse up and down with both legs for 10, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Swapping over. 7, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. All right. So you can kind of stay in each position and do as many little rounds of each exercise as you wish. But that is a great little pre-surf activation or workout if you're surfing a lot. Just maintaining the correct positioning of the shoulder blade or scapula in the shoulder joint. Working on the glutes to support the pelvis and the lower back, as well as just a little quick deep core activation. Nice.